Hi there folks, Gareth here from tracyandmatt.co.uk, and inside this rather tattered, battered box is a rather new product, a new exciting product and cheap as chips product at that. This is the Archos VR Headset. Now obviously this is hardly Oculus Rift end of the market. This is the much cheaper end of the market with a £20 pair of goggles here that Archos have put out. Essentially you slip your phone into them and it acts maybe like a bit like Google Cardboard and allows you to experience the VRness. Now this is a bit of a challenge for an unboxing, I suppose, because I can't exactly show you what happens in the googly goggles side of it. However, we're going to show you how it works and see what it recommends that we do with the phone in order to achieve VRness. Now I have a Note 4 and I'm just looking at this thinking that's not going to fit in there without a bit of a fight. But I see at the bottom here there are little levers to allow you to expand it, so it should fit most mobile phones, and it does indeed fit most of the Note 4. Most of it. With a rather large chunk sitting out the side of it. Now obviously this is a non-retail version of it, so the actual box itself does not have anything to help you know what to do or any specifics of what devices it will work with. However, it does say on the website, and I'll maybe look that up on the phone, possibly through the goggles, as I do so. So the goggles are very simple. Strap, elasticated strap that fits around your head, easily adjustable. Rubber cushion here to avoid light getting in and also to maximize comfort. Adjustable lenses for focusing in and out, much like binoculars probably. A nose area, and along here we have just some hinges essentially to allow this to be adjustable, and the same on the other side as well. The device doesn't feel like it's very snug in there. I did notice on the website that they had an Archos phone in here, but they're hardly going to have another brand of phone in here. And then if we have a look through here, what can we see? The lenses that magnify, and I'm wondering if that's the leather here or if it's actually fingerprints all over it, but that's all it is. It's a very simple piece of plastic and rubber and elastic. So trying it on, it is a little bit tight at the top, so I can just adjust this like so. That's simple Velcro. So we'll do that, and hopefully that'll fit my huge head in it. It's it is a bit of a shame that this is not adjustable, as there is quite a lot of light bleed here. It doesn't quite meet my cheekbones, so I can see a lot of light sneaking in from this and this side, but pulling it down a bit tends to help with that. However, it automatically pulls back up again. I'm pretty sure I've got this adjusted to the max, unless that sticks to that. Well, maybe it does. Oh, there's a crumb from someone who had this before. Thank you very much. That's lovely. Yeah, I suppose that does stick there, so I can't make it big enough for my head. Okay, so it states on the website this is universally compatible. Not quite so, but I guess a Note 4 is somewhat extreme circumstances, if not still one of the most popular phones about. Okay, so I have the Cardboard app installed on the phone, and I'm hoping that it'll make things fairly easy to do this. Find the symbol on your viewer. If you don't have Cardboard, skip. Right, okay, so here we go with the Cardboard demo. this is essentially what we will put in, and hopefully we'll be able to focus the goggles to see things. You can just about see through the goggles itself that the menu is here. However, it is a problem on... Oh, it's really greasy as well, I'm looking at that. The problem is that you can rotate your head and see things and pick across the menu by rotating your head. However, the phone doesn't fully fit in the device. And you can see just at the corner there's one of the icons is popping out. That causes extreme problems with the left eye because the menu only sort of comes up to halfway across the left eye. It's hardly immersive, so I'll have to find the device that does fit in here. So having had a bit of a quick play with them and getting them to work a little better, I've actually discovered that with a bit of brute force you can pull out the sides. So it does fit the Note 4, and I'm now using a LG G4, so we'll fit it in there, and it fits in no matter how much you stretch it out. It'll pretty much fit any device that comes along. So that fits in there quite snugly, as you can see, and then you clamp it down around the device and it allows you to use it. So I had a go on some of the software. Archos has a number of links on their website that are designated for the goggles themselves, and a few demonstration pieces that you can play with, and one of which was a guide around the solar system, and it worked quite well. I did notice that whilst I was staring straight on, it's almost like the central point kept moving down to the right, and whenever I was trying to look straight ahead, I was actually having to look down to the right more and more and more until eventually I was just staring directly at the floor. Now, that's not a problem because of the goggles. It's more a problem because of maybe the phone or the accelerometer or gyroscope inside the phone, or perhaps just a bit of a bug with that build of the Tour software. But whereas these, I was wearing them, they weren't terribly comfortable. I wouldn't recommend wearing these for any particularly long period of time. Now, my eyes weren't painful afterwards at all. They were my nose was particularly painful after this little ridge thing here, so perhaps a piece of foam maybe in there, or just a Kleenex would make all the difference. Adjusting it was great. There is an awful lot of flexibility with the eyepieces. You can keep moving and moving, and you just think you could get it a little bit better, a little bit more sharp, a little bit more comfortable. There was plenty of avenues for you to go down in order to get this to fit your face. Just this was a pain, and it's only now that I'm thinking maybe a bit of cotton wool or something in there would make this an ideal experience. These kind of rest on your cheekbones after a while because it starts to slip down, and it's not perfect that way. But then you're paying what, 20 quid for a little sort of a complicated piece of plastic that's been put together, and you're not going to expect to get Oculus Rift style comfort out of this at all. But it does work. It gives you an idea, and it's kind of a fun thing to have a play with, even if only for 30 minutes twice in your life. You know, I'm glad I've played with these. I will happily send them back to Archos and they can send them on to another reviewer. But I've done this and I've enjoyed it, and I look forward to seeing the potential as it matures. And 20 quid, or even going and getting the Google Cardboard box itself, 20 quid is not a lot to pay to experience it, and maybe have these sitting around in the event that something pops up that you might want to watch. There are 360-degree movies available to watch. I had a go with one of them and I quite enjoyed it. It was short, but it was fun. And yeah, I'm satisfied with the technology as it's evolving. This is one of the cheapest ways to enjoy it. So, whilst they have it certainly has its drawbacks. It's not the most comfortable device in the world to wear, but it does its job, and it's cheap, so I can't say anything too bad about it. I wasn't expecting the world, and I certainly didn't get it, but I did get to peep into another more expansive and exciting world. So there you go, that's the Archos VR goggles. Pick them up from archos.com, or I think you can get them from other retailers as well. And thanks for watching.